It's your boy JD, Jordan Delks, mindset guru and WNBA basketball trainer right here at Compete Training Academy, home of the barn. I'm here to welcome you. If it's your first time here, welcome. If this is your regular space to get your mind right, you are family to my wife, Courtney, and I. And today I want to direct you to the website, competetrainingacademy.org. Our latest mindset and basketball training programs are live for application. Go check us out. Also, my book, The Compete Mentality, is live for reservation at the website. Get a copy of your book. If you reserve a copy today, I will write you a handwritten letter in the front cover of your copy today. And today I have a very special guest. I actually write about this guest in my book. And this is a brother from another mother, Tayler Persons. Tayler, thanks for joining us today, my man.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, man. I'm always excited to speak with you and happy to be here.
100%. We were just chopping it up a little bit before this podcast. This is your third summer here at the barn, working on our mindset and our skill set together. And man, like truly, I feel blessed, man. Iron sharpens iron. I know you come here for me to train you, but like your energy, man, is contagious. And like when we walk away from training sessions, I'm like, I'm not sure who got better, me or him.
That's funny. I feel the same way about coming here. So it's like you said, like attracts like, and iron sharpens iron. So I'm glad to have a guy like you in my corner, man. So appreciate you.
Absolutely. It's real.
Yeah.
And a little background on Tayler. His reputation precedes itself. For all basketball fans in Indiana, you've heard Tayler Persons before, but Kokomo High School.
Yes, sir.
Ball State, chirp, and great career at Kokomo. Great career at Ball State. 6-year pro? 7.
Yeah, 5. Just finished 5th.
Okay,
so
going into
6. Yeah,
going into
so
6.
Yeah, extremely happy.
In 6 different countries.
Yeah, a lot of different places I've been.
A lot of perspective that I can't wait to pull out.
A lot of different things I've learned over the years, for sure.
Definitely. And I think so Tayler, he's on our Dizzy Runs Pro-Am team that you regular listeners on the podcast, you've heard about the Dizzy Runs Pro-Am in the championship, August 2nd. Come check us out.
Let's go.
Look at social media for the time and place. That's TBD right now. But I've heard so many from so many of you guys that have been to the games. Man, I love watching TP. I love Tayler Persons. I love his game. And it's his mentality that everyone's attracted to, of just this play hard mentality, this blue collar. And TP, like, I kind of want to dive into that first. Like, Where was that developed in your life? Like, how did you get there?
I would say a lot of it is, where I'm from. I say I got to give a lot of credit to my father, Doug Persons. Shout out to my dad. He pushed me. I think he knew what I had inside me even before I was a young kid and all this stuff, playing sports. So, but also to the city, I used to play at the park till the street lights went on, till, my mom get mad that I'm not home. So, you playing there with grown men, you got to kind of figure it out. So, I had to play hard, find my areas I could excel in. And, I owe a lot of credit to that too,
Totally.
Just pushing your mindset, being tough, playing to win, because every game is a win. You don't want to lose and sit out and be on the, the side, the other 5 that's waiting to play. So it's all that. I think it's all of a collection. Shout out to my dad though, for real. He pushed me. I think he made me into the dog I am, throughout my life. A lot of people that know me in Kokomo, they know my father, my grandfather, they pushed me. I was already hard and early. So now it's easy.
Yeah.
It's different. I got a different mindset now, but so it's good.
And it's carried you very far. You're still playing the game. And man, I'm getting goosebumps because you literally said before when we were offline here, you're like, man, I haven't even hit my prime yet.
Yeah, I feel good, man. Like mentally, I know what I need. I know what I need to do to work on and be better. And I think now, you're younger, your ego attracts too much of your brain, and you can't, be honest with yourself, because you need to be honest with yourself first and foremost, so because if you're not honest with yourself, you're going to be, it's hard, you're living a lie to yourself, and how are you going to do that to yourself? So I had some real talks, had to figure out, some things that I needed to change or be, and I'm humbled enough to say now I'm in a place where I can, oh, I'm messing up here. I need to be better. I'm not, but it's a learning, you got to take these, no losses, just learn, lessons from it. Yeah.
That's it. Dude, this dude is preaching fire already. We didn't mess around starting right off into this. And I love a couple of things you said out of that I want to dive deeper into. One, that like we have a lot of parents and kids that listen to this podcast. Like youth sports, obviously Compete Training Academy and basketball training we're in. So I love hearing that you were outside at the park hooping, man.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like
I was out there.
You were out there
all day.
There it is. And so like that's what, if you're a kid listening to this,
that's how you get good at something, man.
That's how you get good at something. Keep hooping. And we love, like, we're in the training business.
Yeah.
And like we love that you come to the barn for us, for you to get coached by us and everything. But like we always encourage kids, like go play.
Yeah,
go play.
Sure.
Go play. So
I think I tell that to, people ask me, I think that's one of the most important things. Obviously you have to have fundamentals in basketball.
Yeah.
A good base, but you got to go and show, like we talk about, you can do it against, the cones.
Yeah.
But when there's a guy in there that's, playing defense, reaching at you, that's how you learn. You gotta, put it into live scenarios. So you gotta go play, have fun, and be outside too. That's always, there's always time for the games and stuff. But it's different times now. So kids like that, just how kids at younger age are streaming and all video games, like just take all that time and just put it into the sport. You could be really good. That's how it is. That's how you become good at something.
And we got people of all backgrounds listening.
Yeah, for sure. So do what you love. What you love.
Exactly. We got entrepreneurs, CEOs, CFOs, mindset clients listen to this.
Absolutely.
And, just that whole point of putting in the time. And that's a question I want to pose to you right now. Are you putting in the time on your craft like a Tayler Persons who lived at the park growing up as a kid? And I think that's like the coolest thing about you too now. Like, again, us chopping it up before the podcast, you just love hoops. You're like, man, I kind of want to broaden my horizons a little bit, but it's like I watch basketball all day. You literally said, if I don't get to the gym as soon as I wake up in the morning, I feel off.
Yeah, I'm off.
It's
a part of me now. It's like you do something since you're 5 years old, no matter what it is. I feel like, I'm 28 now, about to be 29. It's like, wow, spent 24 years playing a sport, and putting my time in. And like you said, it was a lot of, sacrifice, dedication. In the summer, we're only, a shout out to my family, my mom and my dad and my grandparents for supporting me. We're at AAU tournaments every weekend, every place. I'm taking I'm sure they want to do a vacation. We're in Fort Wayne, Indiana, no disrespect, Fort Wayne, our listeners. But you know what I'm saying? Like we're at the, we're staying at the Holiday Inn for 2 days, getting it in, playing 3 games a day. I sacrificed a lot. I didn't have summers. I was playing sports. And then school come around, and I got to play sport. It's my life, and I love it. And I don't know what I'll do after, but we'll see.
Yeah,
I had to do something that is with basketball.
One day at a time, right?
Yeah, I take it day by day.
And I also wanted to pull out the part about the ego. Like you had to kill that. You had to get rid of that.
Yeah.
The ego, man, it's nasty. Like it's comparison, right? It's jealousy. It's like you said, you had to look yourself in the mirror and you humbled yourself.
Yeah.
Like talk a little bit more about that. Was there a time like that you really had to face that head on?
Yeah. Well, we talked about it when we did our podcast a little bit the first time. It's, there's situations overseas where it doesn't go your way, coach, you don't see eye to eye. And this is testimony to my faith. I remember it's after my second year going from Germany. I played in Poland to finish. My son was born. I missed I just do a quick, run around, missed the birth of my son. So had to finish the year during COVID. Wasn't very happy about all that. It was a sad time in my life. And then come back into the next year, it's all the way in August, the mid of August, and I don't have no job. I remember getting in.
I remember that.
Yeah. I remember, about to take a shower, talking to my wife, I remember just like almost, being almost in tears, just like, hey, why is God doing this to me? Why can't I get a job? Why can't I, next day, got a job. You know, it was the best year of my career, you know, to this last year. But, you know, that's my faith side of it. Right? You know, I had to trust, you know, and then God, he gave me the situation the next day after I complained and questioned. And I was like, oh, I can never question God. Then I started to have to look, hey, God's given me these situations. Like I have to run with it. I have to find my way. You know, this past year, not this last season, the year before, I was in France. I got hurt, bad situation. Coach, you know, I wasn't playing as well as I want. I had a game. I missed like 6 or 7 free throws. I've never done that in my whole life. Like after the game, questioned myself, like, you know, what's going on? Like, you know, like, am I good enough anymore? Like, where am I at mentally? And it just all was, you know, ego, like trying to, you know, not thinking, you know, about certain things and just going out there and playing and being myself. And I tried to suppress who I was there, and it just all backfired on me. And had to look myself in the mirror, like, hey, I need to change my mental preparation. I need to come into each game focused. I need to not worry about the coach. I need to not worry about this player or this situation. I need to be rock solid on my mental. That, hey, I'll have a game. And, okay, I'm not playing as well this way. Let me impact in other ways, you know. And I really, this season, that's where I had it happen the most. I every game I made it a point. I'm focused up. I'm locked in. You know, my ego's checked. I'm here to play the game. I'm taking, you know, I'm being myself. I'm going to get my team involved to get this win. That's all, you know. And that's the biggest jump, I would say, in my career. And I've got better skills, but mentally I've been able to really focus, and that's the difference. You know, extreme focus in any aspect in your life. You put an extreme focus on, you're going to be successful if you know you have talent, love for it. So yeah, sorry I ranted.
No, that's big time. And I'm literally over here just like getting so excited to keep diving into your story because there is so much good stuff here. But like, question I want to pose you listeners, like, how focused are you? Are you a focused person like a Tayler Persons who's literally just so tunnel vision on his goals and his dreams that God has placed on his heart? Are you focused? Are you getting distracted? But TP, I want to dive more. I remember the first time I trained you at the barn, and I asked you, like, again, your reputation preceded itself. I'd seen you play. I was really, I respected your game, but I respected more your mentality, the way you approached it. And I could feel that and see that. And I asked you, like, you know, you had a great year. This would have been 3 years ago. You made a jump 3 years ago. I had a great year. And I said, why did you do that? And I don't know if you remember what you told me, but I've used the story a lot with my mindset clients of, like, you said I had 3 goals. I wrote them down every day when I woke up, and I wrote them down every night when I went to bed. And you said before games, I would visualize it, I'd meditate, and all 3 of those goals happened. Yeah, for sure. You remember telling me that?
Yeah, I remember every goal too. It was shoot 40% from 3. I shot 39, would say I'll count it. What was the other 2? Win MVP or something like that.
Win MVP.
And then playoffs or something. It was one of the other ones.
I remember those are the 3 that I thought they were.
And I mean, that's really what I did. And it worked, you know, and I got away from that. And I had to, like, dang, why did I get away from that? You know, and it's true. It works.
Yes.
Because then it's subconsciously what you believe at that point. Like, hey, I'm reading this over and over. I'm writing it down. I'm putting the pen to the paper. I'm not just saying I'm going to do it. I'm actually writing it down.
Yes.
And reading it and then thinking about it. Yeah, it's big. Yeah, I mean, I did the same thing this year. And it was another great year. I mean, it wasn't as I didn't do the meditation as much this year because I was at a point now where I'm like, I'm just laser locked in at a certain point. In the warm up, I'm like, okay, it's go time. Nothing else matters on. You know, truth be told, nothing else matters on earth right now. But this 40-minute game I'm about to play right now. You know, I got my people, I got my wife, I got my son in the stands. They're cheering. I'm not worried about nothing other than this 40 minutes. So it's that focus, it's that lock in.
Totally.
It's true.
So I'll ask you again, just like I asked you 2 years ago. Amazing year that you had overseas. What would you credit to another jump this year in your professional career?
I would say, first I got to give a shout out to my wife that, she keeps me, our home and stuff. It keeps me, relaxed and stuff like that. And that's always important that you're not stressed out when you go home, because hooping is, any job, a basketball job and sports job for people that don't know. And Europe it's really cutthroat. You don't play good, you're on the chopping block right away. It's not like a 9 to 5 where, okay, you have a grace period. They can't just fire you right there. Now, these people will try to get you out of there. They'll make you feel bad. It's a business. It's a little slimy it could get. But, but this year I would say, I think I like I said, I think I matured a lot. I think I understood what works for me. I think I understood what I needed to be as a player to reach my max potential. And I think I'm comfortable just being myself at an elite level now. And what I mean by that is I don't go into a place like I know I'm a louder, funnier, type A, sometimes I just who I am. And, that's who you got to be. You can't suppress that. And I think, this year I had a great coach that allowed me to be myself. And, with the lessons I had to learn, he let me to, learn them.
Yep.
And, I'm a guy that me and my coach talked about this all the time he's like, I've never met somebody that can just flip a switch. Like you can go from being super angry to then hey bro, it's all good. Cause hey man, cause it's different for me. I'm that's how this is just basketball. This doesn't have nothing to do personal and stuff. I'm just trying to be the best to win.
Yep.
Sometimes that's what I had to work on for my leadership. For my personal journey is the tone and this different stuff like that, but my coach let me learn that, and I matured. I understood how to speak. And on the court, I knew what type of player I needed to be. I've always been a, good scorer, great scorer,
Yep.
but now I'm like one of the best passers in Europe that I feel that. And I know that. And, that's how I look at my game, two-way player. I just play all aspects of the game. So, but for this season, it's really about maturing and let myself be who I am and not being, afraid to be myself, and be this guy. This is who I am. And this is why I am the way I am or where I'm at today in my life. I can't suppress that. It's gonna, you can tweak it a little bit. That's what, that's the path I'm on, but I'm unapologetically myself, and I'm a good guy. I know that at heart. I'm a man of faith. So it's I'm confident.
Yep.
So it really allowed me to be on the court and be my full potential, because this last season, truth be told, it's not even close. I almost averaged a double-double, triple. I had an amazing year. I've never played this good. Our team did great. Yep. So it has a lot to go, hand to hand. And I'm on that journey now where I'm still trying to find, how can I lock in even more? How do I get this game that I just had that I scored 40 and I elite locked in, or I just had a triple-double or I had a double-double and no turnovers? What was my mindset that I could just replicate that over and over and over again, where I'm locked in? Maybe my shots aren't going in, but everything else is just locked.
Yep.
And that's what I learned this year. I had games I had 3 points and 14 assists, and I was like, dude, I felt like I was the best player on the court, and I probably was, truth be told. And it's it's just our culture of stats and scoring it's toxic, and Europeans don't think like that.
No,
they don't. And over here it's just different, man. It's our culture. Basketball, to me, truth be told, the direction's a little different, because it's weird to me now.
Well, I think I
don't know, and you see that more too.
Totally. So. And I love Coach Painter, and he always says you can't find your identity in your jump shot.
It's a great point.
Yeah. And that's exactly what you're talking about. Is and that's what makes you great, is you make the right play.
Yeah.
Right. Make the right play and make the best play available for the team. And there's being an elite basketball player. I like how you're talking about this maturity process. It's not, you check in the box score. Did I score 20 every game? Right. Yeah. You can measure. So there's great players that for example, I coached Johnny Marlin, who's point guard at Indiana Wesleyan when I was at Indiana Wesleyan.
Training.
And I remember, like, I forget who we were playing, but he told me before the game that he wasn't going to shoot a jump shot. Like, we weren't playing anybody good.
And
so he's like, I'm not shooting a jump shot. And he had 12 assists on 1 turnover and dominated the game without scoring a point. Just to back up exactly what you were saying.
As a
like, there's so many ways that you can impact a game and be a great basketball player than just finding your identity in your jump shot.
Absolutely.
And then the second thing I want to talk about in that segment that you just had there was that maturity process. And one of John Wooden, one of the best coaches of all time,
for sure,
his 7-point creed is be true to yourself.
Yeah.
Be the spirit that God created you to be.
Absolutely.
Like, you being okay in your own skin, right? Yeah. So if you're listening to this, like, take that and receive that truth from Tayler. Like, God created you, like, for a reason, for a purpose, and your personality is the way that it is, and you got to go walk confidently in that. And that's what I'm seeing more in the last 3 years, more than ever in you, Tayler. Like, you walking confidently in your personality and who God's created you to be.
Absolutely.
And that's producing results.
Yeah, for sure. Because you don't have nothing to, you don't have no interpersonal conflict. Right. You know, I'm big on communication and, you know, being able to read people and understand and stuff like that. But yourself is the person you know yourself more than anything.
Yeah,
it's the truth. You're doing everything, but you can look in the mirror and, hey, I need to change some stuff. But most people can't do that.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Yeah, no, it is.
That's hard.
TP, I want to paint a picture of, like, really what overseas basketball is, professional basketball, physically and mentally, because I think being a professional basketball player gets looked at pretty lightly. Like, a lot of people, oh man, lucky them, right? They get to play professional basketball. Well, I'll never forget having a conversation when I was training Blake Wesley, and we were basically talking about, like, the 82 games that NBA players play, right? And they were like, you know, you play 82 games. Like, our bodies are the same as any human being's body. It's not just because my point is just because someone's a professional basketball player doesn't mean they got a superhuman body.
Absolutely. Yeah. Or it's just like your question, like, about the, you know, people don't realize, and people don't look at sports like a real job, truth be told. And let's just keep it 100 with that. It's just, that's just an activity that's, you know, you're getting paid. But no, it's literally your job. Like, it's complete focus, I'm working out. So look, let's just go through my day. Preseason, this is typical. Last year I had a good schedule with my coach. We practiced 3.5 hours once, and then we're good for the rest of the day.
Yep.
Some coaches, you're waking up, hey, 8 to 10, you're doing a skill, you're doing shooting, you're lifting, and you're coming back, who knows, 3 to 6, 5 to 7, 5 to 8, 6 to 9, whatever your schedule is. So, all right, you're a parent, let's wake up. You got to go there. You got to, take care of your job, and you got to come home. Your kid wants to play with you all day. You're tired a little bit from your, because in the preseason Europe, they're practicing hard, it's working hard. You go there, you come home, chill with your family for a little bit, go get a coffee, get the lunch. Hey, maybe you chill a little bit, try to get a little rest before the harder practice at night where you're competing and you're, got to prove yourself, and, the earlier preseason. And, okay, I'm in the gym 5 hours. I got to do it every day for 6 days a week, probably get one off day. And then you look at it in the season, they change it up a little bit when you're playing. Okay, now add that every day. And then I'm playing twice a week. Then I'm playing 2 games. So then I'm playing 60 games throughout the season. Body at the end of the season is hard to. That's why you see your preparations big, because you got to take care of yourself and be ready for that grueling season.
And I think people can get a wrong view of who I am as a trainer too. Mr. Compete, just keep, pounding, working hard, all that stuff. But competing is it's a lifestyle, and you got to make decisions to be your best. And that's why I talk about the mind, body, spirit ties together. I'm sure now more than ever, going into your 6th year, like you're focused on recovery more than you ever have been for your mind, body, and spirit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to ask you, like, how do you, like, because like you said, you wake up and you got to prove yourself every day. And everyone listening, like, whatever your job is, whatever your role is, there's people dependent on you, right? You're a father, you're a mother, you're a coach, you're whatever, you're a CEO. And there's people, and you got to prove yourself every day. Like, what are you doing on a daily basis to recover mind, body, spirit, so the next day you can repeat it and do it again? So TP, what is your process to recover day in and day out overseas, mind, body, spirit? So you wake up the next day, like, let's just go through those three categories, like physically, mentally, spiritually.
Well, physically, I have to, I get to the gym early. I was saying the physical part is I stretch for an hour or like foam roll, or just, mentally I am ready for practice. I'm going to sit here and stretch. I'm going to get my mind right for practice. So I get to the gym early. That's physically, to decompress off the court. I would say, honestly, just my having my family, having my son is a real good, game changer for me, because it's like, dude, I walk through that door and my son don't give two what I'm about to say about what happened. And I'm like, and I love it. Yeah. Like, oh, daddy's home. Let's go play cards. Let's go do this. So I'm big on living in the moment. I have like you said, it's cool that's why I'm glad I'm here to dive into it. Like, I live just in the moment, bro.
That's right.
Like, focus on this. Okay, for this 2.5 hour period, I'm locked in on this.
Present
this
moment.
Is all I want.
Present moment.
I close the door. I just had a bad practice, a bad game before. Come in, close that door. As soon as I get home, it's over. Leave the baggage at home. I'm focused on my son. I'm focused on my wife. Make them happy. You close the door. Just leave it at home. You just drop it off. And me and my wife, we don't put our shoes in the. So we leaving our shoes off. It's like a little metaphor for myself. I'm taking off my slides, leave them off right there at the door. A new day in here. So, I'm breaking my day into, like, I got multiple days in my day. I got, practice. I got my life with my family. And then at the night is why my time at night, me and my wife talk about this all the time, because she's always mad. Oh, you're not going to bed with me and stuff like that. I get when she goes to sleep, I get about an hour or two where I'm just like, okay, my brain's off. I'm either watching the show I want or I'm watching film. And I'm just thinking about that. Yep. I'm just in my own space where I don't have to answer. I'm just, and I need that. It's essential for me, because I need to get back to my chi, my balance, or everything's in balance for myself. Yep. But if I don't do that stuff, okay. But, this summer it was good. I was going to bed a lot. I just going to bed earlier. Getting to sleep, I need waking up earlier. Then it's just like your day started. You can be more productive. But overseas, I need that little, hour and a half, whether I'm playing a game, decompressing on the, Xbox, just talking to my buddies about nothing. It's you got to get away. Yeah. You got to get away from something that's keeping you, got a little stress into it. Even though you love it, it's stressful over there.
So that's, man, that's so good, TP. I appreciate you saying that. Like, I want to challenge you listeners now, like, you CEOs, CFOs, moms, dads, players, coaches. Are you recovering in a way that you need to, mind, body, spirit, on a daily basis, so you can be your best version of yourself? And TP, I love what you said about, like, being in the present moment, leaving your slides at the door. Yeah. Like, being in the present moment is limitless. Like, that's when you get the most out of life. If you're living in the past, I like calling it the familiar past. That just runs our life. The familiar past, that the past can run your life, or the anticipated future. Like, I like to say, the future isn't even real. It's a made up concept in your mind. And so, like, you saying, like, you have these, I'm stealing that from you, that concept, like, you having, like, many days within your day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of, like, I'm all in when I'm at the gym. I'm all in when I'm at the house. Right? Yeah. Like, that's how you have to approach life. Can you leave your slides at the door, so to speak?
Absolutely.
That's
big. Can you leave your baggage? Can you leave your day? And it could be good or bad, though. I could have a great practice, whatever. Totally. Still, leave your slides at the door and just move on. Yeah. You got your son or your wife, or even yourself needs to like just leave it. If you're a single guy over there, or a woman, or if you're you're at home by yourself, then do something else that's productive, for yourself that you need to get right. That's the truth. I mean, it helps me. It's really how I look at it too.
Yeah. No, I love that, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're going to Slovenia.
Yep. We're Luka. Shout out Luka.
Yep. Shout out Luka. And super excited for your opportunity there.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the opportunity.
Well, it's in one of the best leagues in the world. It's that Alba League. It's ABA, but Alba is how you say it. They got 2 EuroLeague teams. They just got a new team in Dubai that I'll be able to go, see that. It's cool. Places all over, the Eastern Europe, the Balkans and stuff like that. So get an opportunity to travel to new places, play against great competition, the best of my career. And, I just, that's why I checked my phone here a second. My coach, I have had talked to him, a lot already. So it's been good to have a relationship built with him. So I feel comfortable about everything. So, hopefully it'll be my best year. Yeah. If it will be.
It will be.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah. I know. But it's a great opportunity.
Yeah.
Smaller city.
Yep.
But the country only has 2 million people. So it's like, okay, that's how it is. But excited.
You and I are wired so much alike. That's why our energies feed off each other.
Yeah.
But like you and I both said, like we're men of routine. But like I'm also like I gotta have adventure in my life.
Yeah.
So like I'm from small town Sweetser, Indiana, right?
Sweetser.
So I have
shout
out Sweetser, Indiana.
Shout out Lando.
I have my routines. Shout out Lando. I gotta have my routines, but like I like calling it like every quarter or every 90 days. Like I gotta get up out of here and go somewhere and do something, man. Like I'd lose my mind.
I got to.
So like it's got to be so adventurous and good for your soul every single year. Like, do you love that? Like, where you get to go have this new life at
a whole new place.
Yeah,
you get that first couple. I'll say about 3 weeks.
Would you say you're an adventurous person in that way?
Yeah, for sure. I just feel like I'm a very low maintenance person, and I can go and just blend in and be where I need to be. My wife is the same, included. My son is the same. He just goes with the flow, and we're here. This coach, but it takes about 3 weeks, and then you're like, okay, I understand it here.
Yeah,
it's fun. That's like this is the new. But that first 3 weeks is. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings. So it's good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man. No, so if you're listening to this, when's the last time you've taken an adventure?
Take one.
Take one. Go do it. Life's short. Like it'll make your soul sing. I promise you. Like go on the retreat. Go on the vacation. Go pick a place to. Even if it's a day. That's why God created the Sabbath for a day. Like take a break, man.
For sure.
Go on an adventure. TP, I want to as we close out this podcast, go back to training at the barn here. Like it's unique, and truly this podcast. Shout out you listeners. It's truly this. We do it for you, and we got listeners from all over the world and country listen to this. For those who haven't been to the barn, describe pulling into the barn. What, especially you've been doing it for 3 years. What's it like? What'd you expect when you first did?
I would say just if you've seen the Hoosiers, just like some old school Indiana. This is where the greats back in the day worked out. It's just that's that kind of feel. Like they put in the work. This is what they had back here. They didn't have access. And I like that. I like that feel, like that. Working out in the farm fields.
That's right.
Freaking
surrounded by cornfields.
Surrounded by the corn, just getting this great work in, and that's what Indiana is. That there's barns. They got basketball goals on the side of it. There's basketball goals here. That's why people say it's different in Indiana, because it's totally. The average person in Indiana versus the average person in another state that's what you can't compare, because it's just not there. Because there's basketball, they just love it.
Yeah, exactly.
But before we end the pod, the pickleball is taking over. I don't know. Hey, I don't want to disrespect the pickleballers, but we're taking the basketball court.
That's right.
Pickleball is. You pickleballers are balling out though. I respect the hustle.
Totally. But yeah, so we got these 2 barns, and TP and I are getting ready to go work out, and we have this newer barn.
The newer
pole barn that we like to do our training in. There's no AC. No AC, baby. Get that work in, sweat it out. Then there's this older barn that I like to finish the workouts in, where we do like our mindset and our meditation and our visualization and our journaling. There's just something sacred about it with the wooden beams, and like the stuff like that. But TP, like you have your picture in both barns, but and I have all my pros sign the hardwood in the old barn. And I tell your story a lot to every hooper that comes in. That's the beautiful thing about basketball. Like, I got all these, college and pro guys on the wall, and the youngins, the young bloods come in, and I get to tell, what makes this player great and inspire them. Yeah. And so, like, in that notion, like, inspire our audience here. Like, what do you have to say to inspire them to take action in their life, or just what's on your heart?
I think it would just be, that's a good question. So what do you want me to say? Something to keep going, and something that is going to encourage our audience to keep going in their journey. Well, I would say, whatever path you're on, you speak of, you have a lot of CEO, a lot of people that are high, I would say, for me, whatever your path is, just you got to stay consistent. And I know people is cliche about it, but there's so many bumps in the path, and you cannot compare yourself to others in the same situation, because that will cause conflict within yourself, and it's not going to work out. So you just have to go with whatever path you're on. Just keep going. You get a speed bump, you go over the speed bump. You get a pothole, you go around the pothole. You just keep pushing, and then you'll finally be in a destination that you want. Just like you're traveling on the road, you always get there. It might be a 2-hour traffic jam. Just think about it in terms of your daily life. There might be a traffic jam that take you 3 weeks, 2 months of your life, 2 years. So you need to really just keep going. And finally, at the end of, when that Apple Maps says you reached your destination, then you're there. So just don't give up. I've had times, even as successfully as people think I am basketbally, that I almost gave up, truth be told. Totally. And I just keep pushing, and you keep going. And then, one day you'll look up and you'll have what you wanted. And then it's time to make a new goal. Then it's time to do a new challenge. And if you're not challenging yourself every day and pushing yourself to be better, then, hey, you're not going to get any better in your life. But hey, everyone's got their own life. You want to be complacent and stuff, but this is that compete mentality podcast where it's like, hey, let's better each other. And that, to me, I don't want to keep ranting and close you out.
You're killing it.
But you have to have it however you want. Do you want your life? That's the same if for your own goals, spiritually or emotionally or internally. Hey, am I happy at the end of the day? Is this goal bringing me happiness? Is this making me a good person to my wife or to my husband, to my kids when I come through? To all the listeners, like, hey, am I a good person there too? Like, we got to take time for everything and keep working and just stay consistent, because it's a process in every work, a relationship with your family, relationship with everything. So just keep taking the time, pushing through, and be better each day. And it's cliche, but just try. And if you have a bad day, hey, next day, start over. Yep. Hey, leave the shoes at the door. Just, hey, let's start over. Hey, let's take a deep breath and let's be better. So just keep pushing, push, and follow your own path, and never try to change your path to be with somebody else because you think that's how they got there. It never works out that way. You're never going to cheat your own destiny with God. It's going to happen. So just go with the flow, go with the trials, go with the tribulations, and come out on top. Be the winner that you're always destined to be, because that's what you are. Every person has that in them. That's the ability. Every person, no matter who it is, you have that ability. When win.
Ah,
Let's do it.
let's do it. That's
Yeah.
so good, man. Thanks for sending us off with that.
Yeah, for sure.
That was amazing, and I can't wait to go back and listen to this myself
me
and
too.
pull out all the one-liners you had and the mindset tips and journal about it. And you listeners, man, this was a real treat. Thank you, TP, for hopping
JD.
on. And I always love having you on once a year at least, just to chop it up with my brother. And I truly love you, man.
Love you
Appreciate
too, man.
you.
Always.
And
Love you, dog.
if you're listening to this, please share this podcast,
Please do.
subscribe, and as always, compete. Do what God calls you to do, even when it's hard.